This week has felt like a life shifter for me, and not even because I've made a lot of money, but because of how my approach for how I go about everything I'm doing in my life, the change for how I see everything that I'm doing in my life. It all stems from my main problem, which was trading. I've been trading since I was 15, I'm 18 now, and I've passed accounts, I've gotten payouts, I've made my first band trading. But I'm not consistent. I'm not getting consistent payouts. And if you don't get consistent payouts, then you can't scale, right? And so my goal was to get consistent, which comes from consistently following your rules, which for the longest time, I just wasn't able to do consistently. I'd have a plan when I go into the day, and every day would end up being this whole like cartoon episode where something happens I'm not expecting, and at the end of the day, it just didn't pan out how I wanted it to. And it has nothing to do with if I made money or if I lost money. At the end of the day, I just wouldn't completely follow my rules. And so there's two things, right? First problem that I needed to fix, which took me a long time to realize, that I was scared of messing up. Every day, every afternoon, thinking about the next day, I was thinking about something that I could not control in the moment, which was, what if I mess up tomorrow? What if I make a mistake? What if I don't follow my plan again, right? And tomorrow just ends up being another waste of time in a sense, which isn't really true, but right, in a sense, right? That's what it felt like. It felt like I was in a hamster loop, just running in circles, right? And every day was technically this productive day where I learned, where I messed up and I learned from it, and so it'll never happen again, yada yada. But it's just been like that for months. At the end of the day, I was repeating the same generalized area of things. And so the first switch I had to make was I had to stop being afraid of, or stop worrying about, am I going to mess up tomorrow? Instead, I shifted my mindset to, great, show me. If I mess up tomorrow, if I don't follow my rules tomorrow, then you're gonna have to show me what in the world could possibly make that happen, right? And then I'd still have those days where, I disrespect a rule or because of X, Y, and Z. And so what I started doing was I started pinpointing that thing on the head. What exactly did I not do, and why? And I would come up with a specific fix. You got to hit the problem on the exact head so it never happens again, right? And what happened was I wouldn't repeat mistakes anymore. And there was still one problem, and the problem was my expectation, which was the second thing that I had to change. My expectation going into each day was that today was the day that I could make money. Today was the day where everything could change, right? And I knew that wasn't the exact mindset. My mindset wasn't that word for word, but I'd be excited to trade. When I woke up in the morning, I was motivated and excited and ready to go, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I know myself, and I know that that's kind of the real reason behind it, right? I was excited for an opportunity to make money and progress forward. But what happens when you have these expectations, look, everything worth having takes time, right? And so knowing that everything is going to take months or years of failing, learning what you did wrong, learning from it so it never happens again, and going back into the game stronger over and over and over indefinitely until one day you're where you want to be. And if every time you come into the game, your expectation is, this could be the time where nothing's wrong anymore. I'm gonna succeed. I'm gonna get this thing. I'm gonna get to this point. Whatever. All that does is, when you fall down again, it just hits even deeper, and it makes you a lot more vulnerable, a lot more susceptible to digging a deeper hole. And that's what my problem was at the end of the day. I would not, I kept having these expectations that I kept putting too much emphasis on the day. And how I saw each day is how I should see, or how I should have seen each month or every 3 months. And so the second fix I had to do was lower my expectation. And how I did this was, I have a little whiteboard. You don't need a whiteboard, right? And it doesn't matter if you're going to the gym and you're trying to get strong, you're trying to gain weight, gain muscle, or lose weight, right? If you have a business you're trying to start from the ground up, or if you're a trader, right? You know, all these things will take months, years to where you want to be, to where you get to where you want to be. So, you know, your expectation going into the day can't be that this is going to be the day that everything changes. And so how to really get that in your head to where you feel it is, what worked for me was, on my whiteboard, I put 0 out of 25 reps. And what I said to myself was, what I agreed with myself to was, every 25 days, I'm guaranteed a payout. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but every 25 days, each day is nearly a rep. It doesn't matter if I lose money, make money, or don't take a trade. As long as I follow my rules and get off the charts, it's a rep. And every 25 reps, I'm guaranteed a payout. And what that does, as soon as I made that rule, the next morning I woke up, I felt more tired. I felt more exhausted, not as motivated going into the day, in a way that I haven't felt in a long time, which was a good thing, because I was feeling how I needed to see that day. It's just another rep. Just get in, do what you're supposed to do, and get out. There's nothing special about it. And the byproduct of me doing what I'm supposed to do now hasn't caught up with me yet, because this is a change that I made earlier in the week. But this has been the cleanest week in trading I've had since, in at least months. And it's just one of those things, like, this is the first time I'm like, yeah, like I've let go of my ego a long time ago, because I was tired of making the same mistakes. But to a higher echelon, I understand that I really made a switch that was necessary for me to really grow and take this to a new level. And so I want to share this with you guys today. Whatever it is you're doing in your life, it's going to take a long time, right? Everything that's worth having takes time. And you need to set your expectation for that day. You have to accept that you're going to fail, right? A term I like to use is success tax, right? A lot of people don't start something because they're scared to start, or because they're scared to fail, sorry. But they don't know that failure is the price you have to pay to succeed. In anything you do, you're going to fail. You're going to mess up. And it's not about being scared of failure or trying to avoid it, trying to come up with the perfect plan, right? Because all that is just sitting on your hands at the end of the day. You get a plan, and then you start, and your expectation needs to be that I'm going to fail, right? Let's see what it is. I'm excited, because you don't know how many failures it's going to take before you see success in that thing. You don't know, but imagine you did know. Imagine if you want to be a content creator, right? You have a YouTube channel, right? Let's say you need 80 shorts, and on the 81st short, you'll go viral and your life changes, you build a loyal audience, whatever, right? You don't know that going into it, but if you knew that, right, I'm 80 posts away from changing my life or whatever, then how fat, I'm 80 mistakes away, I'm 50 mistakes away, from getting to the dream point of my life, getting to where I want to be, then how fast would you be to go in the game and start failing? Because that's the whole game. You can't be scared of it. I was scared of it in my trading. I was scared of making a mistake. I was scared of scenarios that I've never experienced before and not knowing how to deal with it. You can't control that. You don't know any of that. It's just the game. It's just the game. All you can choose, all you can control is how you're going to respond to it. And anytime you mess up, you have to respond to that failure or that mistake as, okay, this is a lesson. What can I take from this to go back in the game and be better next time? And that's what takes you to where you want to be. So that's it for today. That's the biggest thing I've learned this week. Be back next week. I want to start posting long form more often, so I probably will start making more long form more than once a week. But at the minimum, I'll be posting once a week. Just the main needle mover in my life, or the most important thing I think I've learned for the week. I'm going to come on here and talk about it. I post shorts daily on my TikTok, Amani Documented, and here on my YouTube Shorts. So feel free to stick around, check out my other things, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.